Every year, over 6 million babies born in sub-Saharan Africa will stop breathing. This event is called apnea, and if nothing is done, it will lead to permanent brain damage or even death. Our team wanted to see more than just the numbers, and so we traveled over 5,000 miles to Monrovia, Liberia, to better understand the needs of the developing world. In Liberia, we had the opportunity to visit numerous hospitals and clinics and meet with various healthcare providers to better understand the needs and challenges with doing healthcare in the developing world. This image shown here is of a waiting area in Redemption Hospital, one of the largest hospitals in Liberia. What you should take away from this image is that the people are in dire need of healthcare. Yet with only 80 physicians to serve the entire 4 million population, the job is just not getting done. Additionally, nurses consistently work in environments like the one seen in this image. They are tasked with monitoring 10 to 15 babies at a time, often while working double shifts. This makes it almost impossible for the nurses to adequately monitor all of the babies. We have the solution, Babalung, a neonatal apnea monitor for the developing world. Our apnea monitor differentiates itself from the competition with its extremely simple design. It uses a strap which goes around the baby's chest and senses their breathing, a microcontroller which processes the data, and an alarm light which flashes to alert the nurse when the baby needs assistance. Additionally, during an apneic event, our device will begin to vibrate to gently awaken the baby and stop the apneic event. In addition to these things, our device has numerous benefits. It is affordable, it uses commonly available parts, it is easy to use and reuse, it is battery powered, which means it can be used in several of the rural areas like the one seen in this image of Bomi village. And overall, it is designed to decrease neonatal mortality. I've talked to you about the problem and our solution, and now Andrew's going to talk to you about our competition and market side.
Thanks, Kevin. So practically speaking, our product has few, if any, competitors. The devices used in the United States cost upwards of $6,000, far more than can be afforded in these limited resource settings. Our product, at a price point of $400, balances this and also has the robustness to be useful in the developing world. Devices that are less costly may require a power supply, may not be durable enough to work in these kinds of conditions. And while we're not competing against other products, we are competing against a powerful status quo. Teams of nurses working double shifts may seem like a solution, but it's just not working, and we want to help. Our goal is to expand it to 10 African countries over the next 5 years. Our primary customers will be hospitals in large cities and clinics in rural areas that are capable of accepting neonatal patients. We want to work with non-governmental organizations to distribute our product, and we want to work with the governments in African countries to obtain regulatory approval. Overall, we think that the entire developing world has a market size of about 1.5 million units. And over the next 5 years, we're projecting a relatively modest sales of 10,000 units. A first important step to making sales at all, though, is getting regulatory approval. Already, though, we've begun this process. A protocol has been developed, and a team is currently pending IRB approval to conduct testing at Texas Children's Hospital across the street in the Texas Medical Center. The efficacy and safety data from these tests will be used to apply for what's called a CE mark, which is an alternative to FDA approval, used in many African countries and sponsored by the European Union. The CE mark is equivalent in this sense that it allows the device to be used, but it's cheaper and it's faster than obtaining formal FDA approval. Once we have data that demonstrates the efficacy and safety of our product, we want to conduct a field trial using some of the relationships that we established on our trip. Doctors at Redemption Hospital, which is a pediatric hospital in Monrovia, and JFK Hospital in Monrovia, Liberia, are excited about our product. And we also have contacts at the University of Liberia with the Faculty of Medicine, which will help us to accelerate the field trial approval process. And to prove that our product is financially stable, Chris is going to talk about the sales figure for the next 5 years.
The Babalung apnea monitor will be pilot tested and then vetted as a final product during the first year. So no sales will be made during this time. But with a price point of $400, over 90% cheaper than the leading technology here in the US hospitals. And with expected sales of 10,000 units during the first 5 years, Babalung will generate over $2.7 million in annual revenue by the 5th year. From a cash flow perspective, we need to raise a seed round of funding during the first year to cover the pilot test and the product development. And in the second year, we'll need to raise a second round after we make our first sales. The beginning of the 4th year, cash flows from operations will pass the positive point and pass the break-even point, proving our business model. And in the 5th year, as the Babalung proves its effectiveness, and sales will drive cumulative cash to over $1 million. This is the point at which we'll try to exit by selling to a major medical device company so that they can bring needed medical devices, other needed medical devices to developing countries using our successful business model and distribution networks. To do this, we need to raise $400,000 during the first year and $500,000 for the second year. This money will go towards product development, the legal costs associated with complying with regulatory authorities, and to fund the pilot study in Liberia. The team that will bring this to you is comprised of MBA students, a bioengineering student, and a University of Liberia student. My name is Chris Raff. I'm the Chief Executive Officer, and I have experience developing medical technologies for NASA. Sabrina Chow is our Chief Financial Officer and is an experienced financial analyst. Alyssa Kitt is the Chief Operating Officer and has experience with sales and running a nonprofit. Kevin Jackson is the Chief Technology Officer and has been involved in multiple projects developing medical technologies here at Rice University. Andrew Harrell is the Chief Medical Officer and is a student in the Baylor College of Medicine and also an MBA student here at Rice. And Sekou Johnson, our liaison over in Africa and a student of the University of Liberia. Sekou was instrumental in helping us access clinics and hospitals during our market research in Liberia and is excited to be a facilitator for the business of West Africa. Babalung is an apnea monitor for the developing world. It gives premature babies a chance at life. It gives them a chance to avoid apnea-related death. And it gives them a chance to grow into healthy children. Thank you.